dog. Time Crisis.
In 1995, one of my favourite light gun games of all time was released by Namco in the arcades, and this was Time Crisis. In 1997, Time Crisis made its way onto the PS1, and it came bundled with a GunCon light controller. I raced round to Blockbuster as soon as I saw this hit the shelves, and I grabbed one straight away. I was always a tad disappointed that the GunCon controller didn't feature a real moving slide like the arcade machine gun to simulate blowback. Now, I was rummaging in the shed last weekend and guess what I found? Yep, two light guns, the Namco one and the Predator one, which I used to use for the Die Hard trilogy on the PS1. Now, I will be bringing you a video on the Die Hard trilogy later on, but for today it is Time Crisis we're taking a look at. Now, we have a decent sized Sony Trinitron CRT here in the shed, and that will be ideal for playing Time Crisis on. Now, pretty much it's a 3D on-rails shooter, but Time Crisis introduced something new, a cover system. Not only does this reload your gun, but it also means you can duck out the way and avoid incoming enemy fire. And you really need to get this ducking and reloading down to a T if you want to get anywhere in Time Crisis. Now, in the arcade, of course, ducking and reloading was activated using a foot pedal system. Now, on the PS1 it's a lot more fiddly and you need to use little buttons that are actually on the gun itself. Now, I sometimes used to plug in my Namco arcade stick into the second port and use this as a pedal with my foot. Well, it's made of metal so it can stand the punishment, it's not a problem. Time Crisis visuals look decidedly dodgy by today's standards, of course, but who cares? It's a light gun game, it's not about the visuals. I mean, just take a look at Point Blank. It's one of the best light gun games ever made, but it's nothing more than a bunch of scaled sprites, but it's still a fabulous game to play. Time Crisis has a decidedly dodgy, typically 90s storyline attached to it. There's this dodgy geezer called Sharudo Garo, and he has some very dodgy dress sense indeed, and he's a bit pissed off about something or other to do with royalty or something that he's been denied access to, I don't know. He then decides to kidnap Rachel, who happens to be the president's daughter, the president of some fictitious land called Sertia. Now, he's holding Rachel in his castle on a remote island, like you do. Lessons to be learned here, guys. If you've got a family member with his own castle on a deserted island, watch out. Trouble is brewing for sure. Helping this nasty Mr. Garo with his dastardly deeds is a dodgy crime outfit run by a chap called Wild Dog. Yeah, Wild Dog. He doesn't look very wild at all, but he does have the trademark 1990s dodgy fella looking sunglasses. Ooh, very dodgy indeed. Oh, and you play a chap called Richard Miller. Yeah. He's a one-man army with a dodgy hairstyle and an equally dodgy black leather jacket that looks like it was been loaned to him by Michael Knight himself. So the premise of the game is basically get in, shoot everyone dead, save the girl and do it all before the clock runs out. Now, the PlayStation 1 version is not an exact port of the arcade version purely because the PlayStation 1 is less powerful than the arcade hardware. Some tweaking of the frame rates, the number of enemies on screen, polygon counts and shading was needed to make it run effectively on the PlayStation 1, and it's not bad. For a home conversion of the arcade game, it's actually very, very good indeed, and probably as close as you are going to get to having Time Crisis in your living room. So before we get started, I thought I'd let you have a quick look at the special story that you actually get with the PlayStation 1. This is another story, another mode that you actually get with the PlayStation version.
Reload. There.
So you don't just get the original game with the PlayStation version. You get this as well, which is, I can't remember what the story is now.
Reload.
But you get a little bit more for your money with the PlayStation version, which is nice. quick look at this before we play the arcade version.
Fire! Action! Reload! Freeze! Get him! Reload! Freeze!
It's actually quite good. I'm getting into this.
Reload!
Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's have a look at the proper arcade version, shall we?
Reload!
Okay, so this is the arcade version. This is the original story. Now I'm using, like I said earlier, my Namco arcade stick as my foot pedal, so it means I can shoot without having to press the buttons on the gun. I used to be able to complete this on about 1 or 2 credits back in the day. I don't think I could do that now. I would have been in my early 20s, I think, when I used to play this in the arcade, and I used to complete it. I wouldn't say easily, but I used to complete it. So let's have a go, shall we?
Get him! Halt! Action! Get him!
What a great game, I love this. Forgot about those two. I know the polygons look a bit rough, don't they, now, but do you know what? Still a great game. Doesn't have to look brilliant when it's a gun game, does it? It's just remembering where all the explosive crates are as well. There's quite a few of them dotted around.
Action! Danger! 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 There he is! Gotcha! Action!
So the blue guys aren't that accurate. The brown, the red dudes are. So, Star Trek colour coding. If anyone's brown, they're a good shot. Anyone blue, takes them a good few seconds before they land a hit on you. So take out the browns and the reds first.
Action! Reload! Reload!
That was pretty poor. Missed all them. Another explosive crate there.
Action! Reload! 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 Reload!
Those guys with the shields are a real pain in the arse, that's for. I was playing the arcade version a couple of times recently, actually. Play Bidford, I'm sure Play Bidford had one. And Arcade Club in Bury. And it's a brilliant machine, but it's an absolute pain when the gun is off a bit. If the accuracy is off on the gun, you may as well not bother. Nice and easy first boss. Dead easy, that is. So it starts to get a little bit tougher now.
Action!
Right, here's where it gets a little bit tougher.
Action! Action! Action!
And I've got my gun cam switched on now as well.
Action!
Whoops.
Reload! Fire! Action!
Yeah.
Reload!
Okay, I'm not doing too good now. I switched gun cam on and it's gone to pot.
Action! Action! Oh yeah! Gotcha! Action!
Not so good that time, eh? Right, area 2. See, things start to get a bit rough now.
Action! Reload! Action! Reload! Reload!
Oh, you swine.
Reload! Action! Reload! Action! Freeze! Action!
Okay, it's getting tougher now. It's getting tougher. Okay.
There he is! Get fire! Action! Action! Reload! Action!
I'm knackered. It's tougher than I remember this is.
Fire! Action! Reload! Action! Action!
That's knackering. I'm tired. Not easy. Okay, where are we now? Boss 2, is it? Yes. Second boss fight.
Look out!
My name is Shirudo. I rule this nation.
Look at the state of you, man. Look at your hair. Look at your dress sense. Dear Lord.
Since you have traveled so very far, be my guest and let me entertain you.
Who does he think he is? Robbie Bloody Williams or something? Right. Let's sort this guy out.
Action!
Those brown guys are bloody accurate, aren't they?
Action!
Ooh, you swine. Bad timing.
Action!
Bloody hell. There you go. That's him out of the way. Harder than I remember. It is hard. Well, it's harder.
How could you? You killed my boss. What do I do now? I can't.
They've got really bad dress sense in this game, haven't they? Look at the state of them.
I have the upper hand, having the girl and all.
Okay, here we go. Stage 3.
Action! Get him! Axe danger! Fire! Danger! Reload!
Damn. Well, let's try that bit again.
Action! Reload! Reload! Get him!
This bit's tough with these silly guns. Targets are tiny.
Fire! Reload!
That bit's not easy. There's another gun.
Max danger. Reload.
God, that takes some shooting. My God.
Action.
My God.
Action.
This bit's hard. Come on, where are you? Bloody hell. Forgot about him.
Danger! Get out!
There he is! Gotcha!
Freeze! Action! Action! Get out! Reload! Action! Action! Get out! There! Action! Action!
Bloody hell, this is a lot tougher than I remember.
Oh, you're finally here to save me.
Oh, hard work.
This once and for all.
Yeah, please.
Just to be sure.
Right, enough. Let's finish this guy.
Action! Reload! Action! Reload! 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 Action! Reload! Get him! Action! Freeze!
Oh my god! How hard was that? Wow, that's hard. My god, that's not easy. What a great game! Is that it? Oh, how dodgy is this? So funny if the helicopter blew up now. Oh, he can fly a helicopter as well. Hey, he's a good guy, that Richard Miller. Knows his stuff. And like all Bond movies, everything now is going to explode, I bet. For no apparent reason. Right. We're entering week 5 of the COVID lockdown, so I hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you're well. Thank you very much for watching me slog my way through Time Crisis on the PlayStation 1, and we will catch you again very, very soon. So take care, stay safe, catch you later, bye bye.